for coming here. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll tell you like what this process is, which team you will be working with, what are your roles and responsibilities in the project, and then we will go ahead. Okay. The time limit, time is now 10 a.m. It will be sharply completing by 10:20 a.m. So 20 minutes of the interview will be there. And it will be a waterfall model of interview. Let's say I'm asking you a 10 marks question. If you are not able to answer, I'll be rolling down to 7 marks question. If you are not able to answer that, I'll be rolling down to 3 marks question. If you are not able to still answer that, we will end up the interview. Okay. If you are
Sure.
able to answer the 10 marks question, then you will be getting a scripting. If you are able to complete the scripting, then you will be getting a Python coding. If you are able to get the Python coding, there will be a system design for you. So that is the way we follow. Okay. Right. And meanwhile, while you are giving the interview, I'll not look at you because I'll be taking down all the pointers, what is there that I have to take it ahead for the feedback. Okay. Right. So let me open your resume. Yeah, your resume is with me. Ishan, thanks a lot for taking your time. As you are having 5.5 years of experience, you will be working as a software developer engineer 3 with Walmart supply chain team. This team is primarily responsible for cloud deployments, automations, CI/CD pipelines, and various kinds of Python REST API projects also. We are also dealing with certificates, renewals, and different kinds of monitoring stack also we are using. And your resume is quite a bit aligned to our requirements. So that is why you are here and glad to meet you. So Ishan, go ahead with your introduction. Let's get started.
So hi Praveen, as you already introduced, I'm Ishan, and from last 2.5 years, I've been working with MDocs. I'm in a part of an SRE team over there. If I talk about my day-to-day work, I've been working as a SRE engineer in one of the product of of the MDocs, that is Ketlina. We are just managing the Kubernetes clusters. I'm extensively working on the monitoring tools in the monitoring parts and the various monitoring parts like Prometheus, Grafana, Alert Manager, ELK. These are the day-to-day work for me, setting up an alerts and monitoring the entire application. Other than that, I have also have a vast knowledge in Kubernetes cluster management, or like cluster upgradations. Other than that, I've been working with the entirely Catalina part from almost 2.5 years. Before that, I was working with Persistent. In the Persistent, I have worked as a 2.5 year as an SRE and DevOps engineer over there. And I have extensively contributed in various tools that I have worked. Like I have a huge experience in AWS and a little bit in Azure and the configuration tools like Ansible or IAC tools like Terraform. I have done a multiple certifications, Praveen. If I talk about the certification, I have done the solution architect certification in AWS, a CK certification in Kubernetes. Other than that, PCAP certification in Python, Terraform associate certification I have completed. Other than that, I have done the Azure and AI 900, Azure 900 basic certification I have completed in Azure. So these are like basic stuff about me.
Okay, good. I think that's pretty much good insights you have given. So you are working with Kubernetes cluster upgrades, monitoring, deployments, and you have pretty much good certificates. So let's talk about some things with respect to site reliability engineering. Okay. So
Right.
tell me one thing, like let's say like Walmart has some new applications which are going to be part of the existing tech stack.
Right.
And I'm looking for a kind of person who can come to my team and tell me that, Praveen, with this, we can achieve 99.9999% of availability for our application. So how do you design a complete tech stack where I can tell that in a month, we are less than 4 minutes of downtime? You're able to get me, right? So can
Right.
you
Right.
a tech stack according to your stack, whatever you have told me in the document that you are sharing, right? So go ahead,
Right.
say what are your perspective in terms of architecture design?
Right, Praveen. So the main use case that you mentioned is the availability. And for any application, availability, durability, performance is pretty much, primary role is there that should be achieved. So coming to the availability part, if suppose my application is monolithic, it is, installed on the EC2 instance, or we can take another scenario, it is a microservice. So it should be, first of all, it should be a proper architecture should be there, like it should be behind the load balancer. So whenever the request should be coming, it should be go to the healthy instances. So every time it should be up and running. And secondly, coming to the performance part, like we can just monitor this performance by using any tools like Dynatrace or AppDynamics. This play a very important role for continuous monitoring. Other than that, regular monitoring, we can play a very important role in using Prometheus, Alert Manager, Grafana for setting or regularly monitoring, scrapping the metrics so that the application is up and running. So this will help us to know that our application is continuously performing really well. And coming to the most important part is that we need to continuously maintain the auto scaling of that particular the application that we have hosted.
Okay, Ishan, one second. So when I asked you about the architecture, you can start with the basics. When I'm talking about 99.99, I understood that you are adding some components here and there, availability zone, auto scaling. But I would like to know on an holistic view, if I am giving you the entire responsibility of designing the architecture, starting from CloudFront, Route 53, availability zone, subnets,
Right,
VPC, how you are going to design
right,
for
right.
99.99% of availability.
Okay, coming to that point.
Yes.
So coming to the first point, so I have a VPC. Inside it, I am having two subnet, that is public and private subnet. So whenever my application would be hosted in the private subnet and my load balancer would be there in the public subnet. So whenever any request would be coming, it would be bifurcated to the private subnet. Now coming to the Route 53. So whenever any request comes, first of all, request will hit to the Route 53. First of all, the request will hit. Sorry, Praveen. I mean, just,
No, no,
sorry.
no,
So
no
whenever
problem.
whenever any request is coming, it will come to the Route 53. Inside a Route 53, I am having a records. I am having a hosted zone. In the records, in the records, I would be having a load balancer, and that load balancer is hosted in the public subnet. Once the request will go to that load balancer, that load balancer will move that request to my targets. Let's take an example. My target are ingresses. It can be a monolith. I mean, it can be EC2 instances. It can be ingresses. Let's take an example. If it is ingress, then in ingress, it will take the input. It will take the request. It will use a context based or path based routing. On the basis of that, it will go to the various nodes. Other than it will go to the nodes, it will automatically, that nodes will maintain the auto scaling. I mean, auto scaling group would be mentioned, like for example, maximum, minimum, or desired number of state that would be mentioned over inside it, so that automatically my nodes will get increase or decrease as per the request which are been coming to the my application. So this is about the entire architecture, starting from Route 53 load balancer, then coming to the my ingress, and after that it would be moving to my nodes. And inside a nodes, I would be having a various, pods and container where my application would be hosted. So this is an entire holistic view, starting from a request coming to Route 53 till the application is hosted. Now coming to the monitoring part. So for the monitoring part, we can ensure using the tools like Prometheus. We can, since Prometheus, we can use a daemon set concept for installing the Prometheus into the various nodes to scrap the metrics of the various components of our application that are running. And for Grafana or Alert Manager, we can use, since these are the free tools, we can use it for setting an alert to the Slack channel respective for monitoring purpose.
Understood. Understood. So tell me one thing here. So you are telling with this, we will be achieving 99.99% of availability.
Yes, Praveen, I believe yes. This is
You are
we will do that.
100% sure on that?
Yes, I am 100% sure, because on the background, we are just auto scaling group. We are adjusting, scaling in and scale out the number of instances or nodes on the basis of request. So this we are
Okay.
maintaining it in background. It is entirely managed by AWS. So
Okay. No issue.
entirely.
No issue. I got that. I got that. Okay. So great. That was a good answer. Okay. Little bit here and there. We will manage it once the interview is completed. Now let's go ahead. You have told that you have done Kubernetes cluster management, upgrades, monitoring. Can you tell me, like, let's say, like, I have Kubernetes 1.24 version with me, and I am asking my organization where you are the lead, where you will be doing the upgrades or designing the entire upgrade of the Kubernetes cluster. So how do you do that basically? Like, let's
Right.
say you have a two people team under you because you will be software engineer. Three, some two people I
Right.
am going to assign you for this task. How do you do that?
Right. Can I take a sip of water?
Sure,
Just.
sure. Please, please. Obviously.
Right. So coming to your question for upgrading any of the Kubernetes clusters, like from, as you mentioned, from 2.4 to 2.5 or whatever version I need to upgrade. So basically, sir, we have used the kubeadm tool for upgrading the clusters. So there are two things are there in the cluster, that is master node and there is a worker node. So the kubeadm tool, what we are going to do that using the kubeadm, first of all, we need to upgrade the master node. For example, like we are using kubeadm, we can kubeadm plan, we can just go to the SSH to the master node and just you do the kubeadm plan. So we're gonna get an entire plan. What is the plan, how we gonna update it within a basic command. Kubeadm is just a tool for it is just a tool to upgrade the clusters. So in first of all, in coming to the master node, we have a let's take an example. We have a various components are there, like a kube api server is there, scheduler is there, and kubectl is there. Other than that, various tools are there. So first of all, we need to install that binary from the official website. Okay, then we need to upgrade all the master node. On the master node, all the components are there. I think 4 to 5 components are there, like starting from API server, scheduler, controller, and container runtime. This all the things I need to upgrade into the master. Once it is upgraded, first of all, I need to ensure that no scheduling should not happen over here. So first of all, I need to empty the master node. For that, emptying the master node, so that in future any of the nodes should not get should not get in. Yeah,
What do you mean by emptying the master node here?
I mean,
There is a specific term, right?
yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, right. Cordon and uncordon is a basic term that I need to use over
Hmm.
there. For example, if suppose I am there would be few pods would be running, daemon sets would be running. So I
Right.
need to move that resources to another worker node so
Okay.
that I can go upgrade, and there should be zero downtime. There should be a rolling update.
Okay.
That is my achievement I need to achieve. So for
Hmm.
that, what I need to do, I need to go for a cordon. I need to cordon that particular node so that the new further scheduling should not happen into the master node. That is my
Correct.
primary. So after upgrading the master node, I need to uncordon it so that again it come into the natural state. Then coming
Hmm.
to all the worker nodes, let's take example, I have 4 to 5 worker nodes. Then I need to come to simultaneous to other worker node, cordon that node, and to avoid the daemon set. Then again do the upgradation of what we need to upgrade. We need to upgrade kubelet and kubectl. Basically, we need to upgrade into the worker node. Basically, we need to upgrade into the worker node. Then we need to upgrade in each and every worker node that are present over there. And again, following the same coordinate, upgrade it and uncoordinate. Followed by same architecture, we need to follow it into all the worker nodes. That is the main procedure, that main way we used to upgrade it. Like I have upgraded from 37 to 38. This is the latest version I have upgraded from Kubernetes, from my particularly the cluster that I'm working on.
Okay, great. So you have told me like the entire process that you have done. So tell me like, see, we in Walmart, right? We are doing all the things direct production deployment, right? We have dev stage QA, and once we do the above thing, we go with the production deployment. Now,
Yeah,
as that you have been given a task like in the production, the Kubernetes cluster has to be upgraded in production basically,
right.
and there are some challenges there.
Right.
Have you faced any time any challenges with respect to the Kubernetes clusters upgrade?
Right. So, Praveen, basically, we follow the architecture of blue-green deployment in
Okay.
production, right? So, ideally, if I talk about any challenge, so there is a zero time downtime for us, because every time one of the cluster is a customer-facing cluster, either blue or either green. So, whenever we are working on a green cluster upgradation, so yes, we face the challenge like many times, like one of the pods which are being like running on one of the worker node, it is not getting cordon. It's not moving to another node because of the memory issue, because of the CPU issue. That
How do you
challenge is
tackle that? Then how do you
right.
tackle? Yeah.
Right. So for tackling that, what we did is that we are manually using a node affinity, or we are using a node affinity and other stuff. We are scheduling into another node where the memory and CPU are available more. So we are using randomly, we are scheduling so that that particular application get run. But it is of zero time downtime, because already one of the cluster is already customer facing cluster, either blue or green. So one way we are not hampering the customer, like customer request, we are not hampering it. One another way, they are getting an output if they any of the API request, or any of the API request is being fired to the cluster. So it's not a customer hampered, but on internally this challenge we have faced.
Okay. Only one challenge, if I'm not wrong, one to two.
Yeah, mostly one challenge, but otherwise, other than that, upgradation was quite other way, or one way or other way, it was smooth. I don't feel any challenge here.
Okay, great. So tell me one thing, like you have put CI/CD Jenkins, right? Let's say
Yeah.
like one development team comes to us and they say like, hey, Ishan, I need to have a complete stack of onboarding into your DevOps pipeline. So do you guys take care of that onboarding of the application into CI/CD pipeline, creating various files, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes files, and dev QA rollouts? You do that, or what's kind of exactly CI/CD Jenkins task you do?
Right, Praveen. So basically, we are using a run deck for deployment, first of all, and on the background run deck, we are using a Ansible scripts on the background of it.
Hmm.
Okay. So extensively, we are not using Jenkins. Jenkins is just we are using for, basic deployment. Like let's take an example. I want to upgrade my, current version. So there are a lot of servers are there. So instead of going to every server, upgrading it's not possible, right? So that part we have made a Jenkins by declarative pipeline we have made going to each and every server, stopping the service, upgrading the binary. That's how we have managed to use Jenkins. Other than mostly Rundeck and on ground of Rundeck, we are using Ansible script for upgrading it. So this is a basic scenario we are using.
Okay. So have you worked with Ansible facts in your playbooks?
So facts, to be honest, I have not worked that much with Ansible because when I joined the organization, already everything was totally stable. But yeah, I have worked on Terraform, and other than that, I have worked on somewhat cloud formation. So and automating the Jenkins script, like I have made a lot of Rundeck script, I have written it down, jotted down. So this was my day-to-day work in the. But I know the concept of Ansible. That's I will not get away from it. But extensively, I have not worked on the Ansible. That to be honest. If I get an opportunity, definitely I'm eager to work on that.
Okay, no issues. Okay. Now tell me one thing. So I see that you have done so much of Terraform certifications, cloud certifications, Kubernetes certifications. You are
Right.
you have completed Azure. So tell me, Walmart is a multi-cloud architecture platform. Okay, so we have our
Right.
applications deployed on GCP as well as on Azure. And we are running an outdated versions of deployments. So we don't have Terraform as of now. Because you are already certified, you hold so much of years of experience. So can you tell me like, or can you write me a code where I can deploy my Terraform infrastructure with one single click in two cloud environments?
Yes, definitely we can do that, Praveen. That's possible because in Terraform there are multiple providers are available. Like for Terraform, like for AWS, if I talk about AWS slash HashiCorp is there. For Azure, like Azure slash HashiCorp is there. So there are different providers which are been available for every cloud. I have not extensively worked on GCP, so I will not comment on that. But for
Mhm.
Azure and for AWS, definitely we can do that. And if your infrastructure is already been deployed, that also we can import into our current TF state file. So
Okay,
that
I
the machine
understood.
would be
My question was, how we define that? In one Terraform code, my team wants to deploy some infra on AWS, some infra on Azure. So
right.
do you know like there are some toggles, there are some aliases, what type of code you write in the Terraform?
So such kind of use cases haven't come to my plate yet,
Okay,
to
okay,
be
no issue.
honest. So mostly we have worked on AWS. Recently we are moving to Azure. So
Hmm.
definitely I need to check on it, how it can be done. But my concepts are clear with this. If I get an opportunity, definitely it's just like I need to go through it and definitely I'm able to handle this use case. It's not a big deal for me if I get an
Okay.
opportunity.
So have you used any Terraform lifecycle policies in your organization where your team is telling that, hey, Ishan, just uh, cover this resource with respect to policy, ABC policy. Have you done any kind of such thing?
Yes, that is we have done it. Like we are using a lifecycle policy, like depends on there is one of the parameter which is available in the Terraform. Like if suppose another is lifecycle policy, this resource is depend on another resource. So that depends on we have used in the lifecycle policy. Let's take an example. My EC, like everything I am creating with Terraform. Let me explain with the help of example. Like I am creating a load balancer, I am creating a EC2 instance with the help of Terraform. So my ideal use case is that my my EC2 instances first get created and thereafter my load balancer get created. And that EC2 instance get move into the target group of that load balancer. So in this case, we have added a lifecycle policy that was this EC2 instance create first and post that the ALB should get created and later on they should be used as a target of the load balancer. So that over there we are using the depends on in the lifecycle policy of EC2 instances for patching it into the ALB load balancer. So in that case, we have used it.
Understood. Understood. Okay. So how good are you in Linux? Let's say like 0 to 5, I have asked you to rate. So what is your...
Right. I'll rate Praveen 3 out of 5, in Linux.
Okay, okay. So can you tell me like there are some processes running in the Linux system, okay?
Right, right, right.
Some applications, random applications are running in the Linux system. Some are supply chain, some are transportation, some are fulfillment item and inventory. And suddenly you observe that some applications have stopped running. But you see
Okay.
that there is a CPU, there is a memory in the system is good. Some other applications are running, only few applications have been impacted. So can you do
Right.
a troubleshooting of this and can you tell me steps like how do you dig? Because you are a monitoring and observability guy, all those parameters you have to take it out from systems itself. So how do you do that?
Right, Praveen. So my first and foremost would, so first of all, I'll just fire a top command. I would be checking it that whatever the process which are running and showing the CPU utilization. Then on the basis of that, I will use ps-ef/grep that particular process name or whatever it would be there. I will just using grepping it and checking it that still it is running or not. If it is not running or somehow or other it got hampered, then I will be checking that process log going into the directory where/logs and the process name. I would be introspecting the logs and I would be checking the logs that what is the issue. On the basis of log output, I would be taking an action further.
But let's say like logs are good. Okay.
Right.
The application, see, application is not running. So obviously there are no logs also. So apart from logs, apart from top command, see, top command, I already told you the applications are not running. So top, you will not find anything, right? So
Right.
process itself is not there. So what else you will have that troubleshooting in here?
So first of all, Praveen, I will just try to start that process using systemctl if systemctl is configured for that. And on the
Okay.
basis of that, I would be systemctl status and the name of the process -l. I would be checking the log. Definitely, if automatically that process getting terminated or discarded due to any reason, in -l, I would be getting a reason for it. If I started and automatically by its end the process get terminated. On the basis of that, I would be taking an action. So on the basis of that, I would be taking an action after that.
Okay. Have you heard about any dumps of the application processes, threads?
Yeah, threads I've worked up like I've worked like there is any application which is running. There are multiple number of threads are there. Like I've worked on the Kafka Connect, which is one of the process which holds a number of threads. Number of threads are basically in our case basically used to push the data from source to destination. On the
Mhm.
basis of threads, the data dumping takes place. So yeah, I have heard about threads.
Yeah. So have you utilized any tool to monitor the dumps of the processes?
For processes, particularly, Praveen, we are using a process exporter, and this
Oh,
process exporter we are using it monitoring over the Prometheus UI GUI. That
okay.
what is the current status for it? So that we are using it.
Okay, understood. Okay, how good are you in Python? Let's say like I give you a code. Will you be able to write down code or what do you think? Like, how do you rate yourself in that?
I'll rate Praveen 3 out of 5. I'm like I feel that I'm in a condition to write the code. Yeah, I can do that. I can try for it.
Okay, so I will give you a small lead code question. Okay.
Okay.
Just execute the code there itself. You don't need to tell me the correct answer there. I'm just looking for a logic. Okay, very basic question. It will hardly take like maybe very basic. So you just need to see this question. Okay,
Right.
so I've given here in the chat. You can share your screen. Click on that link. It
Right.
will definitely take you to the portal
Right.
and choose your coding language there, Python, Python 3, Java, and you can write code there.
Right, Praveen. Sure.
Anytime if you are not able to write, you can just tell me the logic. If you are not able
Right.
to logic also, that's fine. I'm completely fine with it. I'm not going to judge whether you are good or bad with this code. I'm going to judge you because all the engineers do Google. They can find out if we give time 2 days, that answer will be automatically coming out, right? So you
Right.
don't worry about that. You just go ahead and share your screen. Go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah, I have shared my screen. Let me know if it's visible to you.
it's visible. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so let me just a minute, let me do this. I think this is Java. So, okay,
Yeah. You
so
can
this is C++.
under the code. Yes.
Okay,
You can go with, yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Right. So let me go to my definition. So can I use any built-in functions for it
Yeah,
or
yeah,
a
please,
logic?
please
Yeah.
use it.
Okay.
Like whatever you are able to do it, do it.
Okay. I think, Praveen, so my logic is that what I will do, I'll just like this is a string.
Yeah.
So I believe, so I think it can be done directly. Currently, I'm not able to recall that function.
No
Using
problem.
that inbuilt function, it can directly reverse the string and present it, temp it. Or
Okay,
suppose
that's
if
fine.
this particular is in the array, what I'll do, I'll convert that array into a string by applying simple for each loop, this for loop. And after that, using that, I will be applying a reverse function to reverse it and print it. That's it
Okay,
I'll do.
that's completely fine. I am okay with that. No issues. Okay. Here and there, small changes should be there. That's fine. No issues. Okay. You can stop the screen share.
Yeah.
Okay. So great. Time is now 10:27. And Ishan, yeah, you are great, man. You have all the content with you. The only thing what I felt is your resume is like 2 years experience. Okay. That
Right.
strongness in your resume, because of that, I think you are not able to crack or move to the good companies. I'm thinking like that. But the knowledge, the content, the certificates that you have, I think no other person will have in the class. Okay, that's kudos to you, first of all. And in all the things in the feedback, if we go ahead and see in your feedback, I liked the way you started, very good communication skills, strong talk in terms of whatever the area of expertise you have done. K8 cluster upgrades you have told, which everyone needs, monitoring you have told, certificates. Oh my God, your certificates are awesome, man. Like you have so many certificates, but only thing is, how do you tell that people like it's genuine, right? So I asked you to add the certificate ID, some links here so that people will try to understand. Change your complete resume. I would suggest, because of this, you are lacking. Maybe if you are applying, you are lacking somewhere. So the first question was this. You should have more visibility on the architecture here because you are 5.5 plus years of experience. Little bit you told the basic one, but I was expecting a little bit on the robust architecture, which architect kind of people design, right? Where you have to tell high availability, DR recovery patterns, if zone is down, if the entire system is down, how you are able to achieve the failover of the system, and all those things you have to tell here, which you missed. That's fine. but still it's good. How do you upgrade the cluster? It was really good. I enjoyed the way you have talked most of the things that you are doing here. I think on this pattern only, so definitely good one. Challenges during the K8's upgrades, again good. How the CI/CD project? I think this is also good. What are Ansible facts? Because you have kept Ansible here, I would suggest you to go over a few of the Ansible playbooks at least to answer when someone is asking, right? So can you tell the code for multi-cloud deployments in Terraform? It's okay, but still I was expecting the exact code because you are a little bit more kind of a certificates are there. So I will be expecting you to design me a code or write me a code where with the help of aliases, toggles, or various kinds of functionalities, I can do the multi-cloud deployment. Terraform lifecycle policies was good. How do you troubleshoot few? This also you need to check a little bit. Have you
Correct.
used any process monitors? Okay, this also you need to check. Basically, there are consoles, J consoles, right? Java-based different kinds of tools are there where we remove all the dumps and the threads.
Right.
Okay. Overall, I will definitely go to select you. It was really good talking with you. So thanks a lot for your time. How was the interview, guys? I think it was good for me. I'm definitely going to take him. You can put it in the chat. How did you felt? Whether it was good, bad, any feedback. I am not going to see the code because see coding, everyone can tell after the interview is done. In the interview, how you are sitting, how you are confident, I'm going to see that. Okay.